Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I wanted to go over why your websites look like they were made by AI, or what most modern day people call AI slop. These are the 7 rules I kind of go by when I'm prompting a build or a new, website. And this is my process for it. So most of the time, a root cause of why you get a landing page like this, for example, when you're trying to make a website, is because you're giving it nothing to aim at, right? You're giving the AI whatever AI model it could be. It could be an AI builder like Lovable, Base 44, or it could be Claude, or any other AI model. But you're giving it nothing to aim at, nothing to know about, and like it says here, you're kind of just guessing. You're guessing, right? And that's where things get tricky, because it's almost like you're trying to one shot a build, and most of the time you're gonna get this kind of a result, right? And that's a result that you don't want. So that's one of the root causes I always see. So one thing that always helps me is, obviously don't steal other people's work, right? But you want to get inspiration, right? You want to quote unquote steal before you prompt. So one website I love going to is awards.com. So awards.com has multiple sections of award-winning websites. Stuff that wins awards. It looks great, and people love them. They voted on it, and that kind of a thing. So if you ever want to look for website inspiration, I would definitely check out awards. There's other websites, of course, but this is what I personally use. But I'll go on here, and in this screenshot, for example, this is the sites of the year. So I went to the sites of the year, and in each one of these boxes right here, you can visit the website, and you can really see what it's all about and what cool effects it has. And see, hey, is there anything in here that I might want to use? So on each of these websites, when you do see something that you do like, definitely screenshot those sections, right? Screenshot those, paste those in somewhere, give that to your AI to kind of look over and kind of see like, hey, this is more of the vision I'm having for the website, instead of having the AI guess what you're trying to do. And then mix the 3 sources as well, right? And just paste them in. And once you feed the AI model something like that, I can promise you things will look a lot better, and it will definitely appeal to your vision more so. So another thing I like people to do that I don't see people doing enough is to be specific, right? So this is an example I did recently where I gave an AI model 2 different prompts, right? One was a very basic prompt, as you see right here, and then another one was a very specific one. These are the 2 results I got, right? So this was the obviously the very vague prompt that I gave, and it gave me a very AI slop kind of website. The type of stuff that you see usually. And it may look fine to some people, but this is definitely something that you can drastically improve. Drastically. As you look here, like, the whole website really comes together, right? It's got its whole theme going on. It's got the call to action buttons. It's using unique fonts. It's got the background image as well compared to this stock photo right here. And all around, it looks a lot better, right? So you always want to be specified with the prompts that you're giving whatever AI model you're using. The more you feed it, the more you're going to get out, pretty much is what I'm trying to say. Um, and then another tip I have is do one target per prompt, right? When you're first prompting the AI or whatever website builder, you don't want to give it a whole list of things that it needs to do all at the same time in the one singular prompt. You want to focus on one single section at a time, rather than fixing 4 things at once, right? So, and that's because when you are multitasking with AI, Sure, it might be able to do what you're asking it, right? But it's not going to be at its full capabilities compared to you doing it one section at a time, right? And I get it if you want to speed up the process and get everything done in the same prompts. That makes sense. But if this is a client that you're actually shipping a website for and actually creating a website, for them, you want to take your time with it, right? There's no rush. You shouldn't be rushing on anything, and you should just do one at a time. And another big part about this is, using different fonts. Kill the default fonts that, those AI builders usually give you, right? These are two sites I found on awards, and I just want you to take a look at how unique the fonts really are on these websites and how they capture the landing page drastically, right? Visually, this looks very appealing. Both of these fonts right here are unique to what the image is showing and is very powerful. It's very powerful. And that's what a landing page should be doing, right? So instead of using these fonts down here that a normal AI builder gives you, really look around, really research and get inspiration like I was talking about from these websites for, different various websites and see what you can find that stands out to you, right? You can also just search up fonts in general online and kind of just look through them and see whichever one you want and download that. So definitely kill the default fonts and make something unique, right? And go all out with that and see what happens. And then another part is, instead of giving it kind of a vibe, right? You give the AI the logo and it's like, oh, copy the colors that you see in the logo. It's not going to be able to replicate that perfectly. It might be able to get a decent enough result that's close to it, but if you give it an actual hex code, it is drastically going to give you better results in terms of like color. So this is the hex codes we use for this website, right? This JP plumbing website. And it really gave off that unique cream color. And all around, it looks much better compared to if we just gave them, the logo right here and said, hey, do your best with it, right? So definitely use color codes. That's what I would do. And then also have a ban list. So, in Claude specifically, you may be using other models, but I'm going to use an example of Claude, but it has context memory, right? In context memory, you're going to want to give it a ban list. So these are just examples of what you can give it. Obviously, it's personal preference of what you do and don't want on your website. But like I said, these are examples, but you can give, these examples to that memory in Claude, and every single time you have it help you build a website, it will completely avoid all of these. Completely avoid all of these. And the reason why this ban list is so important is because it saves you so much time, right? If you don't have a ban list and you already don't like some of these things, you're going to have to re-prompt the AI again and again and again. Hey, get rid of this, get rid of that. I don't like that, right? This saves you so much time and is so helpful in the long run. And that's something I definitely recommend everyone does. So definitely make a ban list. And then structure before style, right? So you're gonna want to have a structure of what you want your website to look like. Okay. You don't want the AI to completely handle this all, right? The structure is very important in a website, and you need to be able to make it unique, right? So a good example of this is splitting the hero, right? 60-40 rather than 50-50, or, make everything asymmetric, right? So these are just kind of examples I'm trying to give of trying to make your structure stand out before you actually start building. Um, I guess you could call this wireframes as well, doing some wireframes, really mapping your website out. But definitely have a plan, especially if this is a client that you're shipping a website out for. You don't want to go into this empty-handed and not knowing what to do. So getting the structure down is very important. And now, when you are feeding a prompt to the AI, you have a whole setup now, right? This tutorial I just gave you is a whole setup of what you need to add into a prompt from now on, right? So for every prompt from now on, you need a reference, a section, layout, type, color, motion, and your band list, right? If you add all of these in the same singular prompt, I can promise you, you will have such a better outcome compared to if you just wrote like a one sentence kind of prompt and give it to the AI. Okay. So from now on, I definitely suggest doing something like this. But all in all, that's kind of the big takeaways that I'm giving you guys, right? I want to help you guys really sell these websites and really create something of your own that you can be proud of. And especially with AI becoming so popular nowadays, it's pretty easy to make it look like AI slop, right? But even if you are using AI, you can still be creative with it. You can still, mess it around and make it something geared towards your vision rather than the AI's vision, right? So it's all in your control. It's just about how you prompt it. So thank you so much for watching this short, quick video. I hope all of you guys enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments or in the Discord or whatever, whatever video you guys want to see next, what kind of a tutorial you want to see next. But like I said, thank you so much, and all my links are in the description. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.